So I don't know why people don't think of it from this perspective, but I just want to offer a different view on lifting and a different view on working out because I see so many of us, myself included, have just gone through some horrible injuries just because we love the gym so much and we're never going to quit. And this is good, but it's also bad because most people don't lift in the smartest way and most people don't take a few things in consideration that will pretty much reduce their risk of injury to basically nothing. And if you just make simple changes, dial back on the ego a little bit, like you can literally live for the rest of your life and not have to take breaks because that's what this is all about. This is all about doing what you love every single day and being able to keep consistent with that because that's going to give you the most results and that's going to make you the most happy. So with that said, let me just start off by saying I've had some horrendous injuries. I completely blew out my knee 2 years ago. I herniated a disc when I was 13 or 14. I don't even know how that's possible. I think I just grew too much and was pushing myself too hard and that combination wasn't good for myself. But I've gone through it and it's so frustrating that I've had to just adjust because of these injuries rather than just not have to go through this pain and then fix the style of lifting and now have what I do right now where I'm pretty much never going to get injured at the gym. If I get injured, it's going to be at MMA or kickboxing. It's so frustrating, but it all starts with what imbalances are you building? What are you doing that's restricting your ranges of motion? Because I want you to understand that your body, stiffness, tightness, joint pain, clicking, that all comes from your body not being comfortable in a range of motion. And when we're not comfortable in a certain range of motion, we usually choose to avoid it. And that's something that you should stop doing because when we avoid going into that range of motion, our body is going to stiffen up and stiffen up and stiffen up. And eventually you're going to have to start overcompensating in other ways. Your shoulder's going to start rounding forward. That's going to throw off your traps, your neck. There's so many negative effects that come from avoiding movement. And we need to understand that the more we restrict our movement, the worse our joints, our muscles, our body's going to feel. And the more likely you're going to get injured. So something I was telling my friend today at the gym, he has some of the worst shoulders I've ever seen. And I was literally telling him what are you doing in the gym now? And he's like, well, I can't really flat bench anymore. Mind you, he's 24. You should not be saying that at 24. And I was like, oh, so do you do a lot of dumbbells? And he's like, well, not really. And I was like, what? And then he goes, yeah, I do a lot of Smith machine. I was like, okay, let me get this straight. Smith machine is a good exercise, but if you have horrible shoulders, you're going to restrict your shoulders to literally moving like this. Does that look natural? Does that look safe? Does that look like something that you should keep doing? And maybe the answer is yes if you're using low weight and it feels good, but at the same time, I know my friend, that's not what he's doing. And what he's doing is he's loading up the bar and just forcing the weight up because he just wants to get the weight up by any means. And he can't do that on flat bench anymore because his shoulders are so bad. So now he has to do it on Smith machine. And he's going in the wrong direction. I want you to start going in the right direction. So for him, the right direction would be, okay, let me lower the weight a little bit. Let me start using dumbbells because I'm going to have to control all these different ranges of motion and I'm going to have to keep it steady. So that's going to start working my shoulders again and my shoulders are going to get comfortable in all of these ranges and all those stabilizers are going to get fixed and they're going to strengthen up and now my shoulders are going to get better while I'm getting stronger and bigger. And it's this simple mindset shift that just baffles me that most people aren't making. And I just want you to understand if you're restricting your motion and you're slowly over time getting a shorter range of motion, that may get you stronger. That may get you bigger, but it's eventually going to get you injured. And I want you to understand this fact because I don't want you to get injured as much as I have. It's so frustrating. It is the worst feeling when you mentally want to be in the gym or you mentally want to be pushing yourself physically and you physically can't. So I don't want you to have to deal with this. I don't want you to have to go through this. So start being a little more smart. Start understanding that if you're shying away from a range of motion, that just means you have to do it more. And when I say you have to do it more, you have to do it in a safe way and in a way that's pain-free and slowly over time build back up to that full range of motion. With that said, if you want to stick around the channel, if you like the things I say, if you want to hear more from my perspective, I'm going to make more videos like this. So Subscribe, like the video. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you in the next one.